I have no idea what to do, because I have no idea why I can't kill them. Okay. Sure. I'm lost, but that's fine.
Stay vigilant. Weapon at the ready.
Come to mama. Whoops, sorry, I forgot you were there. I'm gonna be honest, I did. I forgot you were there.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
Let's see, you can use... Which one is it? About to open fire, your allies will automatically dodge.
Doubt is for the weak.
And since this is free right now? Yes, okay, good. Okay, almost got them all.
I'll do it.
Now we did get them all. Well done, girl. This is why we love you. She's so good.
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
Okay, that's fine.
I move swiftly to strike. I am not your Xenos pet,
She never misses, so in my sights, doesn't even feel necessary.
I understand your intent.
Naturally.
It was a good effort. It was a good effort. Oh, I could have done the elusive shadow thing again. Let's see. This is Juliet.
You never stood a chance.
Oh, I thought you had the dueler thing, defensive stance on. We did trigger that in the last one again. Oh well. Alright, you're my sworn enemy now.
I will do my duty.
Okay, survived with one. We still don't exactly know what that is or why. That's okay. Okay, you've got some decent movement, girl. You really do. This girl can travel.
Guided by faith! For you, my Emperor! Eradicated!
Okay, so you made an attack and then died. I still don't get what they're doing, dude. I really don't. I don't get it. Revel in slaughter. Let's get you moving a little bit more. Get you. Can you actually see them from here? Yes, you can. Turn on the lamp? Oh, interesting. I wonder if that would help us with these mandrakes in any way. Okay, if I do the spray, we're gonna kill a bunch of these guys. So let's just do our guaranteed shot here.
As the Emperor commands.
Try and finish one of these guys.
Moving out! Death to the heretics!
He shot through a wall. I'm impressed. Okay, so there's something with these lamps. If we were to turn those on, I'm guessing something would happen. Okay. Who's left? I don't see anybody, so I wonder if there's going to be another round of enemies coming in. Oh no, he just got knocked prone. Gotcha. He didn't actually die.
I'll do it. For you, my Emperor!
It's as good as done. I'll see to it personally.
I must not falter. Done!
Okay. I don't know, man. Somebody in the comments is gonna have to explain it to me. Maybe if they do an action at 1 HP, they die automatically. And maybe there's something with the lights where if you... There's a light here too. Can't quite get close enough. But I wonder if they die, if you attack them while they're in the light, I wonder if,
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
they're guaranteed to die or some shit, I don't know.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
Target gains 150% increased hit chance.
I'm afraid not. If I may,
if it serves your cause. This tedium is beneath me.
I wonder... I wonder if they're gonna keep coming unless we can get the lights on or something. Maybe I need to do something with that. So we got somebody next to that lamp. Heinrichs is getting close to the other lamp. Maybe I need to get somebody over to that one. Maybe we'll try and get Abelard some extra turns and get him there or something, I don't know.
Let's see to it.
Okay. You've got 2 left.
For the throne's glory. Let's see to it.
Okay, nothing ranged for you. Let's do endure.
At your beck and
Sworn
call.
enemy. Counter.
Victory is imminent. Forth on
Sure, why not?
Valancius! I've seen worse battles than this in my time. I took care of this one.
Yeah, I'm guessing they won't be able to respawn if the lights are on.
Pain cleanses the body.
Okay. I think those are the 3 spawn locations.
Faith without deeds is worthless. None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Okay. We probably could have done that one quicker. Emelina lets out an agonized moan. She's still alive. Wasted. All my work, all my preparation, all for nothing. Emelina, Iona Lichtenhart, in the name of the Inquisition, you are hereby removed from your post and expelled from the Holy Ordo. Heinrich's eyes are fixed on Emelina, but she does not look at him. Then the interrogator turns his gaze on you. The fate of its fallen member is a matter of the Ordo. Heretical archives, artifacts obtained in the excavation, and other assets in Lichtenhart's possession, I hereby declare the property of the Holy Inquisition. However, it is for the rogue traitor to decide what becomes of Photon 4 and its people. What is your verdict? And what will happen to the archives in Emelina? The archives will be destroyed to prevent this situation from ever reoccurring. Emelina is my responsibility. And what would you advise, Heinrichs? This world has been compromised. Any attempt to assess the degree of corruption will necessarily be based on weak judgment, vulnerable to doubt and sentiment. I would get rid of the planet and its population. I don't think I'm going to take them off, so it's between these two. I will not risk taking the survivors into my crew, however I will not leave them unaided. They will be given supplies and support for their defense against the Drukhari. I don't know, man. Alright. So be it, Lord Captain. Now, as for Emelina. You are hereby stripped of your special status as an agent of the Golden Throne, and all attendant rights and privileges. I am authorized to use all interrogation measures stipulated in the standard framework for information extraction to ascertain the fate of Acolyte Tanakia Kalbergaria. I can read. Will that be necessary? Emelina. No, Interrogator Van Kallax. The sage's voice is scarcely louder than a whisper. I have no intention of concealing that information from you. I am almost certain that Tanakia Kalbergaria was eliminated on the orders of Xavier Kalkazar after being deemed a volatile element. Ooh, he's not gonna like that. I wonder if this is gonna turn him against him a little bit. His face is a mask of disbelief and anger. You're lying. I have a rather unpleasant suspicion that the witness to this conversation are also at risk of being eliminated at a later date. Whether you were joking or being deadly serious, your words fall on the deaf ears of the two acolytes of the Golden Throne. Emelina, weakened by biomancy, is staring fixedly at Heinrichs, who seems to be engrossed in intense rumination. Listen in silence. I saw one of Kalkazar's documents when I went to receive my new orders. Only a fleeting glimpse, but with my memory like a pict recorder, it was long enough for its contents to be imprinted on my mind. I do not know the details, but the document itself was an interrogation transcript with a final annotation indicating the removal of the person from the retinue. And we both know how someone leaves the Lord Inquisition's retinue. Interrogator Von Kallax. Tanaki is the Lord Inquisitor's top espionage specialist. Wherever Xavier chose to refrain from making a public show of strength, Kalbergaria was invaluable. Why would he do this? Emelina looks up at Heinrichs, her eyes full of despair. I do not know, Interrogator Von Kallax, just as I do not know why the Lord Inquisitor sent me to this nondescript planet as soon as I voiced my concerns about his methods, just as I do not know if I should blame the warp for the lack of responses to my calls for help, or if Kalkazar prohibited the others from answering. The nature of her mission, and of Xavier's true purpose here in the Expanse was likely why he chose to bury the secret, and Tanakia along with it. Emelina breaks off. The operational data indicates that you are the retinue's primary torture specialist. Interrogator Von Kallax. All this time I thought you were the one who conducted Tanakia's interrogation, and one of the reasons why I destroyed my personal data block was to ensure that my own sentiments would not prevent me from thinking rationally when I next encountered you or Kalkazar's other servants. Heinrichs? He says nothing for several seconds. Staring into space, at last he begins to speak. Emelina Iona Lichtenhardt. Emelina sighs. I know, Interrogator Von Kallax. I know all the procedures used on compromised sages. Interrogation, unsealing of reminiscent blocks. But before we begin, she stands up, straightening her spine as much as she can, and looks into the interrogator's eyes with a weak smile. I thought Tanakia was your doing, but as your reaction has revealed the truth to me. Heinrichs. It is Heinrichs, yes. There's a subtle shift in Emelina's voice. She sounds older, wiser. You should know. I am sorry to have forgotten you. Heinrich stares at the sage, saying nothing, then looks down and mutters something too quietly for you to hear. Heinrich turns to you. Thank you for your assistance in solving my problem, Rogue Trader. I think a scene didn't play out the way it was supposed to. But why? Heinrich looks at you, his eyes dark and lowering. Why don't you answer that question for yourself? I think there was a scene where he probably killed her, and I don't think it played out. You did not want her to be subjected to your standard procedures, at yours or anyone else's hands. You really think my actions are driven by such sentiment? Heinrich studies you intently. His face is difficult to read, but one of his eyes spasms briefly, just before he turns away. We are finished here. The planet will be designated unfit for further use. The risks are simply too great. It will take a few hours to deal with the excavation site and what the diggers found there, but it will not delay us. When we return to the ship, find a minute to speak with me. Yeah, he must have killed her. I don't know why it didn't play that way, but... Did something bug? I don't know, man. That was weird. Her body's not here. What happened, though? Somebody let me know what was supposed to happen there.
I always keep my options open. Keep your wits about you.
Okay. Well, I suppose that's everything.
I always have a backup plan.
I gotta remember I can just do that. Part of me kind of likes manually looting anyway, so there's that. Okay, Heinrichs, let's
Lord
talk.
Captain, I thank you for your assistance with my mission. Thanks to rogue trader House Valancius, the Inquisition has stopped the enemies of humanity, even those hiding in its own ranks on this occasion. I will no longer be making any claim on your time or resources.
Everything Emelina said about Calcazar, should we be concerned about it?
It is dangerous information, but you are already too deeply involved. In the Inquisition, there are two main philosophies: Puritanism and radicalism. The adherents of the former are conservatives who strive to follow the letter of inquisitorial doctrine in all matters. The radicals are more pragmatic. They believe that the end often justifies the means, and they use tools that a Puritan would condemn as heretical.
And it seems like both her and Calcazar are both radicals, but of two different ideologies.
Emelina used the powers of chaos to gain the upper hand against Xenos. I touched a cogitator built by cultists to learn its secrets. None of us is pure.
Yeah, exactly what we said earlier.
Xavier. The craven-hearted say that the career of every Inquisitor ends in either death or heresy. The Lord Inquisitor has borne this burden longer than any of us. It would be naive to think that he had only ever used Puritan methods, and even more naive to suggest that such methods have in any way weakened his loyalty to the God Emperor. And that is all I will say on the subject.
Okay. I don't know if this first option is sort of like pointing the finger at him, but let's go through it. You killed your colleague in cold blood.
Does that surprise you? It shouldn't.
Despite his icy tone, the spasms arcing across his face reveal his true state. It hurt him a lot to do that.
This is not the first time, or the last, I fear, that I will cause the death of someone close to me. There have always been reasons for it. Sometimes the reasons are dictated by duty, sometimes by my own personal volition.
Okay, what are you going to do now?
I will remain part of your retinue. That will not change. I will continue to accompany you until I receive orders to the contrary from the Lord Inquisitor, if ever. Who knows? Perhaps one day my journey will end like Emelina's, but that day is not today.
Okay. Heinrichs politely inclines his head in response. All right. So that part of his side quest seems to be done. All right. So now we do have, what's the Nomos one? Talk to Nomos. It is time to discuss the findings and discoveries with the very entity that asked the rogue trader for help in the first place. Okay, so it looks like we might be able to do the next step in whatever this side quest is. The massive figure of the Malatech, Asclepius, is frozen before the cogitator in a praying pose. Without raising his head, he addresses you. I salute the ruler of the ship. I see you have found your great spirit, Asclepius. I have found a miracle, and the end of my worldly road. I've never seen and never will see anything more meaningful than the spirit of Nomos. In the face of its multitude, we are all nothing but the fixed values of an erroneous function. Okay. The quest tells me that I should talk to him, but everything is grayed out. Databank. Okay, I think we went through this dialogue. But for some reason, maybe it didn't flag properly. For a moment there's silence. Okay, we have analyzed the data with which you sated us, and we have recreated the sequence of events. First, there was Epitaph. It is a world, but it is merely a case, a container for something we cannot name and cannot understand. Theodora and the ship have been to that place. Something was lifted up from the world, a gift, a trusted priest in crimson, one who identified himself as Amernat, okay, comprehended the gift raised from the Epitaph, and from it he created what the databank lists as a tech blight. But that is not how Nomos came into being. We were not invented. We were not freed. We came into being by accident. Okay, so Theodora and Amernat found this thing, whatever it might be. They created the tech blight. The tech blight is what destroyed Yurliet's craft world, right? Okay. Let's continue. We came into being by accident. The chorus of Servitor sounded genuinely confused, almost desperate. Theodora's ambition, the myriad mechanisms of the huge ship, Amernat's mind, the inquisitive attempts to comprehend and extract, the dormant blight, the dormant epitaph, what lies hidden in its depths, and between it all. We slipped in, connected, and emerged like an electrical discharge between the poles. Accident, incident, that is what we are. We have no purpose, no history. Nomos just are. Do you know where this epitaph is? That data is gone, deleted, erased, deliberately. We cannot trace who did it or why. Tech blight? A gift, but a terrible one. You would call it a weapon. Theodora coveted it. She needed it desperately, but we do not know why. And how was Amernat involved? He desired knowledge. Theodora allowed him to explore the gifts of Epitaph, slaking his thirst, but we know it did not bring him happiness. In the footprints of his slaked thirst, fear followed. Asclepius, the blessed Amernat, was involved in the birth of the spirit named Nomos. I do not believe for a moment that he could have been frightened by this miracle. It was not us he feared. He did not know us, but only suspected. His mental processes were occupied by the tech blight. That was what he feared. He wanted protection from it. Okay. The ship was on Epitaph. Amernat traveled aboard it, investigating the tech blight, and Nomos was born as a result of an incident. So how was it possible that no one in the crew knew the whole truth? Also, if we were that close in like creating the tech blight and stuff, like, that seems really dangerous to our ship. Like, it literally destroyed an entire craft world. The truth was hidden, deliberately. Your officers' memories were stolen. All the cogitators' memory banks were wiped. It took you feeding us the truth bit by bit for us to piece it together and understand. Okay. So, our officers' memories were stolen. So that's why Abelard has no information for us. That was something that was kind of like bothering me, is like, is Abelard keeping shit from us? But it seems like his memories were taken from him. Who has the resources, the knowledge, and the power to accomplish such a feat? It would have been beyond the capabilities of the blessed Amernat himself, and he would never destroy knowledge. This story disturbs me. It sounds like an echo of the sacrilege whose name is the preservation of ignorance. The spirit of Nomos must be protected from the encroachments of that power that tried to conceal the truth of its birth. Okay. So enough about the past. Let us talk about the future. You do in fact have a purpose, Nomos. Then tell us, what is our purpose? To live. Oh. Comprehending yourself and the world, life does not need a purpose to justify itself. To simply live. The Chorus of Servitors dutifully repeats your words, but seemingly without understanding them. Nomos is preoccupied. The huge cogitator continues to sing its creaking song, running unknown calculations. Blessed be this spirit. A great path and a great future lie before it, and we must assist it on its way. Okay. The cyber gargoyle's gaze tracks you as you walk away from the cogitator. Okay, so we have an update there. We have to find the Eldari, where the Eldari are stranded. We've got to find Adira's door. We got to go to Footfall for Jay. All right, and there's no new update for the Nomos stuff, so we don't have a lead for that. I'm assuming as we progress through the story, there may be updates to that may trigger the next event for that. So, okay. Cool. We don't have leads for Adira's door or for the Eldari at the moment, so I think everything is leading to Footfall at this point. For some reason I have the nameless star listed as somewhere that I need to go. I'm assuming that has something to do, yeah, this one, okay. The world of Quetzaltemer. Rumor has it that Calicos Winterscale does not have the slightest concern about events in the Koronus Expanse, and instead prefers to spend his time hunting. Now may be a good time for the head of the Von Valancius dynasty to pay a visit to his eminent peer. Okay, so that's going to be on our way to Footfall, so we might want to do the Nameless Star. That might be our next course of events. Okay, back out to the Koronus Expanse. Now, we already scanned this, and this didn't lead to anything new up here, so... Yep, nothing there. Oh, this one's new. A warp breach. Ungodly fiends spreading sorcerous disease walks the lower decks, gathering a cohort of infected voidsmen. If no measures are taken immediately, an entire bay could be turned into a den of heresy. Okay. Do we go and do it? Let's go and do it. We'll take care of this mess. I need practice with these fights as well, since I'm a little bit rusty.
Is there money
That
to
is
be
a
made?
lot of explosive barrels.
Your arrogance will be your downfall.
Surrender to the dark powers!
Ooh, this place is gonna be dangerous. Anybody behind us? Oh, yeah, there's somebody behind. Ooh, Plague Bearer. Okay. Okay, well, let us start right next to them. Who else can I see? Got a bunch over here. There is nowhere I can go that isn't like super dangerous with explosives.
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
Death to the weak! Chaos guides me!
Do not dare ask.
Oh, am I just out of range?
Foolishness.
Oh, that was dumb. That's alright.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain. Isn't this a job for the serfs? If I may.
Okay, what does this do? Move to that area. Okay. Let's do stronghold stratagem here.
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Let's stratagem there.
My faith shields me!
Death to non-believers!
I am not your Xenos pet, monkey. If it serves your cause. I am not your Xenos pet, monkey. You cannot force me, Alantak.
Okay, I don't think I have anything that's going to make my attack better, so I don't think we're going to manage this. Let's do raid.
If I must.
Nice. Well done. Okay, that's not covered.
I am not your Xenos pet, monkey.
I am your doom!
Out of my way! I serve the ruinous powers! Death to the weak!
Lots of poison. That heals these guys.
Such is the will of chaos.
Why is it?
I bring ruin. I serve the ruinous powers.
I mean, they're not doing too much to us, so I'm not too worried about it.
It's nothing. As the Emperor commands, I act. This is why I was chosen.
Let's see. Where are you? Yeah, you're all the way over there. Okay.
That
Analyze.
is beneath me.
Analyze.
I'm not injured. I'm enraged. I'll do it. For you, each strike is a prayer.
You're about to go fairly soon, so let's see if we can just go.
I won't object to it. But of course, Lord Captain. More trouble than it's worth. I'm done with this one.
Let's see, wasn't this one the Blitz one? Okay. I thought just clicking that would have us just walk towards it or something, but...
A temporary setback. On it. Who, if not me?
I will endure. As the Emperor commands, I act.
I understand your intent. Stop trying, monkey.
I'll do it.
Okay, how far can I move?
I am not your Xenos pet, monkey. If it serves your cause.
Okay, who is left? Okay, it might just be that guy.
I've faced worse than this.
Power up our attack. Okay, we should be able to collect everything when we leave.
Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
Which I'm not even sure. Yep, right there, okay. Boom. There we have it. Okay, what's our pathway? Nameless Star is right there. Okay. Oh yeah, Foulstone. I don't remember where Foulstone is. Janus. Dargonus. Debos. That one, the one over here? Kiava, no, Kiava. Which one's Foulstone? Right there. Okay. So we need to make our way to Foulstone eventually, too. Oh, and Janus, it looks like? Okay. Okay, we're running out of jobs that we can do. On the rank 5, there's only one that you can do, right? The other ones get locked out? Yeah, so we did Forbidden Planet on that one, so we're okay to kind of just do some of these other ones that we need. Profit factor, efficiency, and people. Yeah, we're going to do this one. It is possible to teach the serfs to read and thus educate enlightened servants under the supervision of monks. Dargona's cries for help, Lord Captain. Riots over the interpretation of the scripture have broken out in several hives across the world. While hunting for the agents of the cult of the Final Dawn, the ecclesiarchy began reigning in the minor cults, attempting to force upon them the correct adherence to the creed. The commoners whisper of oppression of the minor cults, even daring to claim that the holy pastors have assumed the sole right to speak for the God Emperor. The Brigadier clan, around which the disgruntled commoners have coalesced, are rallying crowds of workers into the streets in order to prevent the ecclesiarchy agents from entering the sanctuaries condemned for dissolution. The enforcers and the agents of the ecclesiarchy have been able to curb the rebels so far, but division grows wider by the day. Okay, why are the Brigadiers involved as well? A great question, Lord Captain. This group often comes up in the reports from the capital world. I can assume that this is due to the fact that in their now ruined home, Scipion, they used to have a prevalent, more simplistic form of revering the Emperor. The preachers there have been preaching much about the importance of work in the labor communities, familial unity, but they mention very little about the importance of order and hierarchy. They have granted their congregation a form of faith that is as simple, cheap, convenient, and functional as their work clothes, and now they seem to think that the priests who are swimming in luxury want to take this away from them. Okay, is there any reason to believe that the disturbances are inspired by heretics? Thankfully, no, your lordship. The rebels zealously oppose heresy, actively fill the ranks of planetary guard with new recruits, regularly outperform quotas, and attend prayer service. The Brigadier clan has been actively involved in uncovering the underground devotees of the ruinous powers, and has discovered 2 large successfully operating cells. Our agents are quite confident that the likelihood of infiltration by agents from the Cult of the Final Dawn is far less likely than in other segments of the population. Okay, and my advisors? Small deviances in the creed gave birth to large ones, and the large ones to heresy. The basis of our beliefs lies in the absolute trust of those above us, and if their beliefs push them towards revolt, that means that these tenets have been wicked from the very beginning. It does not make the priests wicked, they could simply have been misguided. Pass them into the ecclesiarchy's care for re-education so that they may see the truth and guarantee their flock's obedience. Shireen, perhaps you should stop allowing the fat cardinals and their servants to do whatever they want to your people. Rein them in. The faith in the Exalted One is not contained within ranks and titles, but within the hearts and hands of the common people. And even this can take many forms as well. Let those who shoulder the welfare of Dargonus to at least choose in which manner they pray to him. Take the minor cults under your protection. Okay. Book of Minor Prayers. Wearer cannot use psychic or navigator powers. They suffer minus lore Imperium. The wearer gains lore Imperium percentage chance to ignore any effect inflicted by psychic or navigator powers. They get security and reputation with the Drusians. Fellowship of the Void, reputation, complacency, patron of the cult. We are not maxed out on complacency. Patron of cults. All allies gain 15 lore Imperium. The minor cults are hereby under my protection. Your mercy will go down in the annals of Dargonus, Shireen. Okay. The common folk rejoiced at the news of their victory. Scoffing at the gilded priest, they offered up a thunderous prayer for the rogue trader. Thanks to the protection of the rogue trader, the agents of the ecclesiarchy were forbidden from entering the chapels of the minor cults. Okay. Okay, lots of stuff there. We still need a lot of xenotech. Okay. So we have access to some rank 5 stuff here. So which one of these do we want? This gives us Loyalist Garb. We lose some profit factor. Efficiency and security for all colonies goes up. Lots of people. The character wearing this armor will dodge 65% average. Okay, if the wearer has not moved during their turn, their cover efficiency is increased by plus 20% for 1 round. If the wearer moves at least 3 cells per turn, they gain plus 20% dodge for 1 round. That seems pretty damn good. Okay. Cartographers, we get Woebringer, which we probably can't use. Imperial Navy reputation, a lot of it. Xenotech, which we desperately need. Adamantine, which we don't need. I mean, the Xenotech is nice, but we don't need the Woebringer. Okay, what about the Librarian? What are we missing for this? Xenotech, okay. The Casbolica get 20,000 reputation. Echo of Victory. Whenever the wearer attacks any target in a 5-cell radius around them with a ranged weapon, this attack deals 10 plus armor penetration divided by 3% more damage. Okay. I think we're going to do this one. Get the Loyalist Garb. A new entry in the annals of Dargonus, the fate of millions of orphans whose parents fell in the fire that gripped the Expanse. Okay, 5 profit factor lost. Okay, we're not maxed out on complacency here. We're maxed out on everything here. Okay, Dargonus. Terrible news from Dargonus, your lordship. Your vigilant servants have discovered an abscess of treachery on our capital world, one that has grown far too large and could rupture at any moment. The informants report that the group known as the Brigadier clan is actually a cover for a horrendous cult of genetic degenerates, who currently have their people in every echelon of the hive. They are traitors to the purity of humanity, traitors to the creed, rebels and heretics. What did my people find out? One tenacious clerk from the administratum had questioned the authenticity of the reports coming from the ruins of Scipion. He personally attended the debris removal and entered the lower levels of the fallen hive. There he discovered signs that proved Scipion to be infected by the gene plague. Thousands of corpses of the extra-armed degenerates had been buried in a mass grave. He had also found the remains of Achilles Scalander's people. It seems that they had noticed the signs of corruption, and the traitors aiming to cover up their crimes buried their misdeeds under the ruins of the hive. On the way back, the clerk's transport was destroyed, but he miraculously managed to survive. Now the heretics think that they have covered their tracks once more, and so they continue their plots oblivious and unprepared for our attack. Okay, what is this mutant plague? A horrendous distortion of the human image. It seems that they spread their poison by biting and enslaving the victims. Some of them are indistinguishable from normal humans, while others are disgustingly ugly. The heretics hide them away from prying eyes. They seem to be connected by a common consciousness, and are absolutely loyal to the despicable cult. The astropathic choir master of Dargonus has suggested that the cult may be behind the extermination of the psychers on the planet. He can sense the ghost of a powerful consciousness of some sort. These sanctioned psychers that we have gathered on Dargonus are prepared for the psychic engagement. They are disciplined, powerful, fearless, and will remain unwavering against the blows of our sinister enemy. Okay? So, it's a cover for a disgusting cult, huh? Indeed, they have probably started to recruit the workers. It is easy to get lost among them. Disguising themselves as technomats, they gained a cover for their secret operations and infiltration into the upper echelons of power. Each crisis allowed them to gain our trust and receive our resources. And the most despicable of all is that they have corrupted our beliefs as well. They revere the God Emperor in the image of a four-armed abomination. Their prayers are full of hatred towards those in power, and promises of a reckoning when their dreadful deity will come and equate them with their oppressors. With us, that is. Many fools and troublemakers have fallen for their lies. Oh, I did not mean to do that. By letting them infiltrate the other hives, we allowed them to spread like a pandemic. Now the cells of their cult are everywhere. When your lordship has stood up for the minor cults, they've received a golden opportunity to recruit more openly to their ranks, which are now brimming with fools who have yet to realize that they are partaking in a heretical conspiracy. Okay? Heinrichs, what are these mutants? They are called Genestealers, and they are not simple mutants. They are a Xenos plague that breeds inside the human brain, forever distorting their genetic makeup and enslaving them to the brood. This is much more threatening than their Drukhari fleet that ravaged the capital earlier. If they are on Dargonus, then they will try to overtake the entire planet sooner or later. The messengers of the Great Devourer. My race can sense the shapeshifters, but you should stay vigilant, Elentok. For a race with such a weak psyche as the Monkey, their appearance can prove deadly. Okay, what do they have at their disposal? The heretics mostly consist of workers, but some have infiltrated the guard as well. Their weapons are primarily made by repurposing industrial machinery. The cultists are fearless and will readily sacrifice themselves for the sake of their common goal. The worst part is their psychic threat. We cannot even begin to gauge it. Some of the engine vandals could be infected by this plague, but most of them are more likely to come to our aid. They are too used to eating out of your lordship's hands to bite it. Okay, we have to act. Absolutely right, it is impossible to negotiate with the degenerates. Our only hope is to completely annihilate them. We should start from the top. Should we attack decisively and quickly? Or should we expose ourselves by bringing our heavy weapons into the capital and gain an advantage in firepower? To quietly eliminate their leaders, or to hit the infected territories and cleanse them of traitors. Analog vernacular, raise the people to battle, and publicly proclaim war. Tell the people that the heretics are hiding among them, and the millions of loyal subjects will grind the thousands of traitors to dust. May Dargonus cleanse itself of this filth. Sounds like a lot of innocent people would probably end up in the crossfire with that one, huh? Since all of them are linked by a common will, we could start by launching our attack there. If the astropathic choir could drown out the voice of the brood, we would be able to launch a sudden strike and act quickly enough before the enemy would be able to restore cohesion and inform each other of the assault. I kind of like Heinrichs's. Okay, so this is a persuasion check, which means we'd be very good at it. This much less so. Okay, awareness. We shall make this quick and quiet. You should get rid of the leaders first. Demolition. Taste of their own medicine. Organized collapses and system failures. Okay. So it's going to be between awareness and Argentas. An internal enemy to the people. They should come to the aid of the enforcers who will be attacking in full force. Let's do quick and quiet. We'll get rid of the leaders first. I commend your discretion, Lord Captain. At the appointed time, the undeclared war against the cult had begun. The leaders of the cult were quietly eliminated, all without lifting the veil of secrecy. When the heretics finally realized that they were being led to their extermination, it was too late. Their leaders were slain, and the rest of them died amid the brutal carnage of the street battles. The allies of the cult among the engine vandals had heard the voice of the brood pleading for help, but only a few of them could come. These leaders, still loyal to the rogue trader, were warned in advance and have treacherously killed most of those planning to raid the hives. Only one thing made the rogue trader's servants feel a sense of unease. Inside the cult's main temple, they found a hatchery for some grotesquely enormous monster. It was empty. They did not find the beast. Uh-oh. If the Emperor had been merciful to Dargonus, then the monster had perished in the fires that engulfed the hives during that cycle. Yeah, that's going to come up later. Okay, we got a tainted phylactery. Gains Lore Xenos divided by 3% critical hit chance against Xenos. Okay. Got that Loyalist garb. We'll have to check that out on somebody. Alright, we're going to have to address this stuff later. Alright, so that's all for now. Thank you all for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Have a good one, everybody. Bye.
I'd like to give a very special shout out to my patron supporters: Darren York, ZTD, Knife Namaste, Kyle the Monarch, Chris Murphy, JW, Quinless, Vlado101, Andy Ford, Bruce Wizzle, Black Mamba 90, Eureka Gecko, A Happy Fat Panda, Pedo Kuto, Shadow Raven, Anna Kate the Great, Emily Kuzanoa, Philip Doughty, Timothy Jansen, Skip, Daniel, Yell, and Nadia N. If you would also like to join this tier or any others, check out my memberships or my Patreon in the description down below.